on a daily basis does make a difference. So help us reduce harmful emissions by living a healthy air life and thinking about where you can reduce your pollution-producing activities. We must leave no stone unturned when searching for ways to clean our valley's air and protect public health. For a list of ideas on how you can help, visit healthyairliving.com. That's healthyairliving.com. This has been your Healthy Air Living Report from the Valley Air District. What is your school doing to protect students from exposure to harmful air pollution? From the Valley Air District, this is your Healthy Air Living Report. The Healthy Air Living Schools program provides participating schools with signs for their parking lots in both English and Spanish, reminding parents not to idle their vehicles when waiting to pick up their children. It also provides schools with the tools needed to receive current air quality information and guidelines for the duration of student outdoor activities based on air pollution levels. Schools can also post current localized air quality information on their own website, further helping protect public health and educating parents about air quality. For more information on how to become a Healthy Air Living school, visit healthyairliving.com and click on Schools. That's healthyairliving.com, Schools. From the San Joaquin Valley Air District, this has been your Healthy Air Living Report.
So, welcome into Details with Dustin. This is a special edition, and how's Stockton doing on this lovely, lovely Monday afternoon? And we're kind of changing it up this week on the show. We're going to be talking about locally, basically, and joining us from the San Joaquin Council of Governments is...
Christine Corrales.
Christine, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Doing good. This is my first time on radio, so...
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous.
I'm a little nervous.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But, so are you a Stockton native?
I am.
Yeah?
Born and raised. Stocktonian.
What high school?
Oh, okay. We're going to go there.
Yeah.
I am an alumni of St. Mary's High School.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Go Rams.
Go Rams.
But, so you're from Stockton. You're back home, right?
I am. I left town to get my undergrad education. Mm-hmm. So I went to UCLA for a little while, spent some time in LA, moved up to the Bay Area, mm-hmm. spent some time in Oakland, and then more recently lived in Portland, Oregon, where I got my planning degree. And then once I graduated in 2015, I decided it was time to come home and contribute to something meaningful here.
Well, we met a couple weeks ago at Parking Day, which was a great event. And people don't know what Parking Day, what was it again?
So Parking Day is a worldwide celebration where we reimagine what happens when we have less cars on the road. Mm-hmm. So for that day, we took over one parking space on San Joaquin Street in downtown Stockton, and we turned it into a little parklet where we engaged folks walking down the street and had them participate in our little social space that we created there.
It was pretty interesting. You guys had a great space, by the way you guys set that up. It had a little beach feel of it, too. Yeah,
we had some beach chairs, picnic blankets out, and it was just kind of like a loungy feel to that space. How
would you rate how that day went, successful-wise, getting the word out on Parking Day?
I think it was an exciting mm-hmm. event to be part of. It was the first ever type of event like that happening in Stockton. Mm-hmm. And it was a good way to just kind of get it in the community's mindset, like what we can do with public space when we have less cars on the road.
Yeah, and basically this is what you're here for today. We're going to talk about that in a second. So you came back home, and a lot of people basically, when they leave Stockton, they always say they're going to leave, but lately people have been coming back. So how's your experience been these past basically 2 years coming back home to Stockton? How has it changed in your being away for a couple of years?
You know, being away kind of helped me gain a new perspective
mm-hmm.
of our community. Living in like big places like LA and Oakland and even Portland,
mm-hmm.
not as big, but still kind of like a little city kind of.
How's that Sacramento feel?
Has the Sacramento feel, right.
Yeah.
Kind of gave me a new perspective of how places can be shaped
mm-hmm.
and the influence that community planning might have in shaping the environments that we live in. So for me, it was good to learn from other cities, but in the end, I think I saw a great value in coming home and kind of bringing some of this knowledge back. So
you have a degree in planning. What's that degree do for you?
That degree helps me become a planner in the community. So for folks who aren't familiar with what a planner does, it's the field of professionals who are in charge of shaping our everyday lives, from where do we locate housing to where do we site a new freeway or a new road. How do we connect buses so that everyone who needs access to transportation has access to transportation. So it's the field that kind of really helps to coordinate the different elements that make up our everyday life. Living in urban areas, but also suburban areas and even rural areas are touched by the community or by urban planners.
Which Stockton makes the perfect place because it has all that kind of feeling of urban, rural areas and different places. So you guys have this survey out. What's the survey do and how can people take it?
Sure. So let me back up a little bit and kind of explain what San Joaquin Council of Governments is.
Okay, yeah.
So from the perspective of a community member, the Council of Governments, or you can call us COG, we're responsible for the planning and coordinating and funding our transportation system here in San Joaquin County. So that is inclusive of our public transit system, such as our buses and our trains. It also includes our roadways, our regionally significant highways and roadways. It also includes our pedestrian facilities and our biking facilities in our local jurisdictions. So all of these things SJCOG touches on through our work. And what we're doing currently in the region is we're updating the Regional Transportation Plan and Sustainable Communities Strategy.
And that's every 4 years, right?
That's every 4 years. We got to update this plan, which basically lays out the next 20-ish years of how we want to shape our transportation system. In other words, how do we want to invest the federal, state, and local dollars in transportation throughout our county. So every 4 years, we try to come back to the community and ask, what are the priorities and how should we invest basically for the next 20 years. And so currently we have a survey out, and it does just that. It asks community members, what are your priorities, whether it's air quality or if it's reducing greenhouse gases. It could be something around like addressing congestion. We know that congestion from our first round of outreach is a very important issue, as well as public transit access. So we're coming back to the community, asking them to rank what their top 5 priorities are, and there's a list of 8. And then on top of that, there's another area where we're asking folks to kind of rate what these different scenarios mean to them. We have 4 scenarios currently out for the public to review. They focus on different things. So one is more focused on, congestion relief, investing in our highway system, for example. One of them is a little bit more focused on improving our transit system, so investing a little bit more heavily in our buses and rail systems. And then we have 2 scenarios that are kind of in between, kind of balancing between the two ends there. And so we're asking the public to also look at what these potential futures might mean to them and to give us a rating. Which scenario do they like more? Was it a 1-star scenario for you, or is it a 5-star scenario for you?
And people like to rate stuff. So
yeah, so give us 1 to 5 stars on each scenario, and that helps us kind of see what the community is feeling about how we want to shape our future. And then we're also asking for people to weigh in again on some important regional issues. How do we address congestion relief? How do we take into account social equity in our environmental justice communities? Because we know that Stockton and San Joaquin County has a particularly large community that is disadvantaged, and so we're also asking for some feedback on how to address those issues through our regional transportation plan.
What's the biggest issue you see from your vantage point and view in talking to people?
We hear a lot about congestion, especially for in our South County everyone that's along the 205
Yeah.
heading to the Bay Area, that's a really important corridor for folks traveling to their jobs in the Bay Area. So we hear a lot about how do we, the issues with having to travel every day 2+ hours in one direction and then having to come back every day. So that's a huge transportation issue that we've been hearing from throughout the county, but especially from our South County residents. The lack of transit is also another really big issue that we've been hearing from folks, like folks feeling like there's not enough service, or that service needs to be expanded, or like there needs to be more frequent bus service. And there's one other issue that's maintenance, obviously the big one, potholes.
Yes.
So everywhere we go, everyone has an opinion about the condition of their roadways.
I think some of the streets over here have some potholes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was another big unifying issue across the region. Folks really concerned about the state of the roads and what it's doing to their cars.
And people don't know, but Stockton is such a commuter city, kind of, because it's, as they said, 2 hours from everywhere, basically. And a lot of people go to the Bay Area or Sacramento. It's like a hub, basically. Stockton is.
Yeah. Its location is really strategic. We're really close to the Bay Area, but we're also really close to Sacramento, like you said, and also the rest of the San Joaquin Valley. I know folks also travel south to get to work or even to visit family.
And so basically, you guys have the survey. How long is it going for?
So the survey will be open in English through Friday, October 13th.
Which is basically 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. So everyone get online, and it's at sjcog.metroquest.com.
And we'll give you the link on the Voice Stockton Facebook page.
The survey is also available in Spanish because we recognize that San Joaquin County has a large Hispanic population. And so in Spanish, the site will be available through October 20th. So 1 week longer, since we launched it a little bit later than the English site.
What else is going on over there at CJCOG?
SJCOG?
SJCOG, sorry. It's a busy day.
No worries. Actually, I believe we just opened up a call for projects. Measure K is our transportation sales tax measure for San Joaquin County. It's a dedicated source of funding for transportation projects in our county, and we opened a call for projects, I think it was just last week, for bicycle, pedestrian, safe routes to school projects, as well as smart growth type of projects throughout the county. And it's going to be open through December. And this is a really exciting thing because there's over $19 million available for local jurisdictions to tap into and kind of help bring more transportation choices to their areas.
Yeah, and Stockton's kind of interesting because this biking revolution's kind of happening in Stockton with the SJ Bike Coalition and different people. And it's interesting, though, because a lot more people I see biking places here in Stockton, and it makes it interesting because it kind of makes it a city feel.
It does. It brings kind of a more urban feel. And I think it's just becoming a more acceptable way for folks to get around, and it's a cheaper way to get around, and it saves our air. And so I too have been kind of noticing a lot more cyclists on the road every time I travel around the city.
So, okay, again, one more time, how can people get involved with the survey, and what else have you guys been going on for you guys?
So one more time, we've got our survey open through October 13th in English and then October 20th in Spanish. The survey, it takes 5 minutes, and you can help shape the next 20 years of our transportation system here in San Joaquin County. And it's just a really great way, easy way for you to get involved. You don't have to go to a public meeting. You can just sit in the comfort of your home or your office, or even while you're riding the bus, you can take it while you're kind of surfing on your mobile phones. It's at sjcog.metroquest.com, and literally 5 minutes, and you can help shape the next 20 years here in San Joaquin County.
Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, Christina.
Thanks for having me, Dustin.
Back after this on KXVS, the Voice of Stockton. Thank you for joining us right here on a special edition of Details with Dustin.